So my son and I, we finally finished this project, and we're gonna probably go ride it sometime today. So let's talk about this bike a little bit, and let's show some of the things that we've done to it. We begin with this ATC 250R rolling chassis three-wheeler, and then we purchased another three-wheeler for $60. It's a 185S, and as you can see, it's been stripped, and the sole purpose of buying it was to get that engine off of it and installing it on our dirt bike. Once the engine is removed, now we can begin aligning everything. My goal was to find a way to get all these parts lined up because none of them fit like I was hoping it would, but the challenge was accepted, so let's get it done. I had to modify the frame just a little bit. Just a fair warning, now kids, don't try this at home. My rear hub and my rim had different lug patterns, so I made some cuts and I'm gonna weld the studs to the hub. They were off by 1/8 of an inch, and I'm basically just gonna weld around here, and that's gonna take care of that. Since this bike is made out of junk parts, sometimes the best solution is just to weld everything. With welded studs, now my wheels will definitely won't fall off. I've installed new brake pads before installing this heavy-duty oversized swing arm on the bike. Now it's got some serious stopping power. The next step is to figure out where would be the best spot to weld a cross member for our coilover spring. $10 axle bolt is kind of long because this axle bolt came from ATC 110. I'm going to cut it here and weld the lug nut right up here like so. I'm going to make several of these engine mounts, and I need to weld it to the frame like so. I'm gonna weld this part to the frame, and this is gonna be my rear brake. I've stripped my paint using aircraft paint remover. Use precautions when using this stuff because it will irritate your skin and can be harmful to your health. On the upside, it will quickly remove most types of paint. This time I've decided to use some harsh chemicals to remove the paint. Just wanted to see how well this stuff works and if it's any easier. I was impressed with how fast this stuff started working. Within 10-15 minutes I was able to remove some of the paint, and in some spots it required a second coat, but I was still able to get most of the paint off with the scraper. To prevent rust and for overall better results, we used a couple of cans of Rust-Oleum primer. Three or four coats of paint will make any project stand out. Now that the paint is dry, let's install the engine on the bike. Shiny gas tank is ready to be installed, but we still need to take care of the seat. I've got enough fabric here to reupholster 2 seats, so I'm going to use multi-purpose adhesive glue to bond the foam and the pan together. So first I'm going to spray the pan, and then I'm going to spray the foam and let it dry for a little bit before I glue them together. I've got this vinyl at our local fabric store for like $8, and I'm only going to need half of it, so I'm going to save the rest for later. So I'm going to take this piece and put it in the dryer for like 5 minutes to make it pliable and flexible. While the dryer does its thing, I've applied another layer of glue on top of the foam. The heat makes it stretchier and a lot easier to manage and to recover your seat. I just went to town on this thing, just stapled it all the way around. And cut off all the excess fabric. To wrap this project up, we've installed some plastic side covers. Our finishing touches were a whole bunch of stickers that we got on eBay. It's a great way to cover up any scratches and imperfections on your plastics. It was a blast working on this project with my son. By far, it was one of the cheapest projects that we've ever made. At the end there, we kind of got carried away with some decals. So let's show the bike up close. I cleaned up the engine a little bit and repainted the frame, repainted the foot pegs. I've repainted the fender, the headlight bracket, just to make it look nicer. My rear brakes are going to be activated by the foot brake and by the brake on my handlebars, my hand brake. Here's how I connected my carb. It's connected with a hose, got a bunch of clamps, then the same hose continues on to the air filter. Here's how my front engine mounts look like. What a crappy welds. Got my exhaust, air filter, the swing arm. This is the kickstand that I've welded. And I've got this little chain roller here. I've made this flexible exhaust that goes all the way to the back.